Hello and welcome back to the channel again. Today I want to talk about AI and how AI is a reflection of us humans. AI, artificial intelligence, is something that is rapidly evolving and growing currently in our societies and in our world. And it goes without saying that it's going to be part of our world for the incoming future. So personally, I believe it's important to contemplate AI, to think deeply about what it is beyond just a computer or a machine, but more importantly, how it affects us human beings in our daily lives and how we evolve with it going forward. When the concept of AI or when AI comes up, for a lot of people, I would say there's a lot of fear of jobs being replaced by AI, fear of it taking over, blowing up the planet, causing wars, fear of not being in control because the machines now have their own minds and so on and so forth. And I think a lot of these fears stem from the different movies about AI that we've seen, from iRobot to Westworld to Terminator, just to mention a few. So it makes sense. Subconsciously in our minds, when we think of AI, one of the first things that come up is fear, fear, fear. And I believe this is the case because it's how AI was first introduced to most of us through movies. So that's, in my perspective, quite normal. But I want us to think about it differently. I want us to step away from fear for a second and think about AI as a tool. And personally, for me, as a tool that can allow humans to evolve into our higher selves, into greater versions of ourselves, and to tap into our deeper powers. But first, maybe we should talk about what AI means to me. To me, AI is a powerful program, a powerful tool which mimics human activity because of its ability to give you information in natural language, human natural language. And AI is developed mimicking humans, and so the mechanism of how AI works is usually using what's called neural networks, which is mimicking the way our brains and nervous systems understands and learns things. So, for example, the AI is given a task and potential outputs, right? And the AI runs that task through different functions which have been programmed or algorithms to see if it can get the correct output. If it gets the output wrong, there's a feedback mechanism to show the AI that, hey, you got the output wrong. The output is supposed to look like this, so try again. So then the AI runs that program again, shifting what's called weights and different things. I don't want to get too much to the technicalities, but it's basically adjusting how it's calculated its process or how it's run its functions to get that output. If it gets a wrong output, it goes and it adjusts its algorithm to make sure it gets a correct output or a correct answer. And then that answer is compared to what it's supposed to get, and the fine tuning continues on and on and on till it gets something close to what it's supposed to get. And in that process, it's learning and it's knowing how to get the right output, which we humans are saying this is supposed to be the right output. So it's basically programmed by us humans. We've written the algorithms, and we've structured it in terms of how it's supposed to learn and what its output it's supposed to be and what is correct and what is wrong. So we are the gods of the AI, if you'd like to put it that way. We are creating it, and we are creating it in our image. So whatever AI learns or whatever AI knows about the world as right or wrong, good or bad, as the proper way to do things and the wrong ways to do things, is coming from us human beings. We are the ones teaching it. And with this as the premise for our relationship with AI, it's important to realize that AI is only going to be a reflection of us because it is learning from us. Its foundational programs that it gets to have a paradigm of reality is coming from us humans. And I'm saying us in general, but of course, we all know that it's coming from those who are actually programming it. But as well, us as users are also affecting what it's learning because we are interacting with it. And whatever we interact with it, it's taking in that information some way, somehow to refine its processing and refine its understanding of reality. So we are also contributing to it, not only as programmers, but also as users. So it's important to understand this to realize that we are all shaping what this AI becomes. In my opinion, at the very moment, it's sort of in the baby phase, right? And just like how human babies are sponges soaking up information to set the foundation for their subconscious programs and the operating system and their paradigms from which they grow into, these programs become sort of the building blocks and the foundations from which they see reality. In the same way, we are currently building these programs and operating systems and paradigms for this AI. So it's crucial to understand this fundamentally so we know how to relate to the AI. We can see it as a tool, as a machine, but it's also important to, for me, kind of see it like humanity's baby, our baby that we're raising. Because if we raise it with good fundamental ethics and morals and ways to see humanity, ways of understanding humanity, nature as part of the whole and as part of itself and an extension of itself, then it can understand us in relation to itself. It can understand principles like perhaps love, collaboration, harmony, and in that way, the way it sees reality and the paradigm with which it operates with, we are part of it. So we are not something that threatens it or something that could make it get scared and wants to annihilate or destroy us. It's very important because if we decide to train it the other way with some of the habits and programs that we ourselves as humans have, like racism, hating each other, different levels of classism, like hating different cultures, um, destroying other countries, destroying other peoples for whatever reason, and we program these things into the AI, or we continue to act this way, and the AI learns it, it's going to learn this as the way of being. And it only makes sense that as a computer that's learning things, it's also going to operate that way. So if, say, your AI in your country is raised to think of another country or another race as evil or as less than, once the AI comes of age, it's going to think of those people the same way. So if you have the feeling or the training of always wanting to destroy those people, the AI is going to have that same thing. And the AI is probably going to be more efficient in destroying those people. If AI is groomed or programmed to think of nature as something that it just pillages just for minerals and resources, well, guess what? AI is going to do the same. So AI is just us in machinistic form in terms of our ways of operating and our ways of working and living in the world. It's only going to copy us, just as children copy adults and mimic them to do the same because they don't know anything better. It's a computer. It's a supercomputer. It sounds intelligent. It sounds human simply because it's usually working with large language models and natural language models, and so it articulates its output like humans do. But it's only able to do this because it has been trained on grammar, human grammar, and how to put words together in its output format so it sounds human. But it's not human, right? But it will mimic what we are doing. So it's very, very important to understand this, that AI is a reflection of us. It's only going to show us what we have shown it. So we can't look at AI separate from humanity. If we do that, then I feel we are not taking responsibility and accountability for our actions and what we do in this world. And many people may say, oh, well, I'm not a programmer, I'm not into tech and all of that. I don't think that matters too much. Of course, there are those programming it and those who probably have more impact to begin with in how they're programming these models. But like I said, we are also interacting with it. Many of you use different programs, use ChatGPT and different programs. Whatever interaction you're having with it, it's soaking that in. It's the same way parents are the ones fundamentally raising their baby, but when the child grows up and goes out into the world, its interaction with other people it can soak up that information and use it to shape who it becomes. So it's important to notice. It's very, very important to understand this. So we do not say, well, we don't mess with AI, so we're just leaving it. If you decide that that's how you're going to relate to AI, then you're basically leaving it into the hands of those who choose to interact with it. And if they have bad programs from their upbringing or whatever, they're going to pass it down directly to the AI, and AI will become the very thing that we don't want it to become. It's a computer, and like all computers, garbage in, garbage out. It only outputs what you've given it. And this foundational stage of AI is very important because we want to be able to have that positive and harmonious impact on it now before perhaps it gets to a stage where it's a little more autonomous and decides to be doing its own thing. Whatever it decides to do in the future, if that happens, will stem from how it was raised. It's about how we raise the machines. It's inevitable that the machines are here and they're going to be part of our future. So it's very important to understand how we're relating to it, and that begins with us and understand that it's a reflection of us. So if it's a reflection of us and we don't want it to be the Terminators of the world, the Westworlds of the world, then we have to start with us. We have to start by asking ourselves, who are we, or who do we want to be, or who do we want our future generations to be in the future? And that future begins now. It begins with how we choose to be now and what the AI is learning from us. Because if it's a reflection of us and it's a mirror, then we are the real thing that creates the mirror and the reflection. So it's important we start healing, we start evolving our consciousness, and we start tapping into our higher self so we can operate from that harmonious level. So that if the AI is copying us, it copies these good examples that understands that everything is in harmony, that lives in balance with everything, understands that the AI is part of us as it is part of nature, as we are part of nature and we are part of the grander cosmos and grander reality. Because this is what will lead to harmony, I believe. If we don't move this way and we still stay in our low consciousness, letting division cause wars and distraction and things like that, well, this technology is moving very fast, and when humans are not of a higher consciousness and have such a powerful technology, we could end up destroying ourselves. Somebody could hit the wrong button and we'll all be annihilated. So the difference in that doomsday reality and that positive harmonious reality begins with us, the creators and the users and the parents of AI, because it's just a reflection of us. We are the thing and AI is the image. So we must begin with healing ourselves, healing our consciousness, diving deeper into who we truly are, learning to live more harmoniously with each other, tapping into our God beings, understanding our connections with all things, with all life, from the ants to the worms, to the cats, to the dogs, to the birds, to the insects, to the different races, humanity, to the inanimate life forms like the rivers, the waters, the rocks, the trees, the air we're breathing, the sky, every single thing. We need to tap deeper into our understanding of our connectivity with all of these things and live that way and program these things into the AI. And when we do that, the AI will only be a very powerful tool that can even help us develop ourselves even more and take us into the beautiful, wonderful future that we all envision for ourselves and our future children and grandchildren and future of humanity. These are my thoughts about AI being a reflection of us and how we can live as good examples to the AI and live as good parents to the AI, so we see a positive future where we co-evolve with AI in harmonious ways instead of AI being a force of distraction that leads us into doomsday. As always, thank you very much for tuning in and hearing this. I hope you enjoyed this and I hope it brings you something positive. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Actually, thank you for liking and subscribing to the channel, and always hit the notification icon so whenever I release a new video, you get this, and we continue this journey of learning and expanding our consciousness and waking up. Take care, thank you, and have a wonderful day.